programming. The field where you have absolutely no clue how most of the things work around you, but if they work, you're being extremely grateful for that. In case you're wondering why the character is laying on the ground, no, that's not because I made some system allowing him to take sun baths. I was intending to rotate the character towards the mouse cursor, but I guess the game was against that. But don't you worry, I managed to fix it and I will show you in a few seconds. But before we start, pause this video and subscribe to my channel. It takes you just a second to make my day. Thank you. Back to the video. First thing I did was change the character's material and play a little bit with the post-processing effect. Now I think the game looks much better. Then I started working on the character's rotation, and that was such a pain in the ass. My first idea was to read the pixel position of the mouse on the screen and then convert that into in-game coordinates. And then I'll compare those in-game coordinates with the player's position, thus getting the direction I have to rotate it. Sounds easy, right? But there was a small problem. You see, in Unity there are two kinds of cameras, orthographic and perspective. The main difference is that on perspective camera, those objects that are further from the camera will look smaller, while on orthographic cameras, all of the objects will have the same size. That means that the orthographic cameras are mostly made for 2D, while perspective cameras are for 3D. And my game is a 3D game, but it's a top-down view, which kinda makes it a 2D game. I guess you can see the problem. And because I was using a perspective camera, my conversion from screen coordinates to in-game coordinates was slightly wrong. So the moving sphere in theory should be there where I'm pointing with the mouse, but as you can see, it's really off. And that caused me a lot of headaches. I've tried different solutions like attaching a secondary camera which will be orthographic and doing all the necessary calculations and conversions using this camera, but that also failed. Then I've tried the opposite, so instead of taking mouse screen position and converting it to in-game position, I've tried getting players in-game position and convert it to screen position and then do the comparison. But that also failed because the conversions would be wrong as well. But then I got quite an interesting idea. Now there will be a little bit of math, so if you're not interested in that, you can skip this part. So I took the screen position of the mouse, which was in pixels, and divided it by half of the screen width for X and half of the screen height for Y. That would give me a number between 0 and 2, where 0 is one edge of the screen and 2 is the other one. Then I would subtract 1 from this final result, which will give me a number between -1 and 1, which again, -1 is one edge of the screen and 1 is the other one. And that also means that 0 is exactly at the center of the screen, where the character is. And now, whenever the mouse is to the left of the character, the X value will be negative. When it's to the right, the X value will be positive. When it's higher, the Y value will be positive. And when it's lower than the character, the Y value will be negative. Then I would just take this vector of X and Y and compute the angle. That's all. And just like that, the character is now able to rotate towards the mouse, and we're able to move in any direction. But I found it quite confusing to move to the left, for example, when your character is looking to the right. You have to always keep in mind where the left and right for the character is. And as I said, yeah, that's a little bit confusing. So I decided to change that, and I did it simply by changing the moving system. Before, it used the character's current rotation to determine where forward, backward, and right and left are. But now, forward is always at the top of the screen, back is at the bottom of the screen, and left and right respectively. The character controls much better now, but as you can see, there are some problems with the animations. After I fixed the animations and I liked the result, I had to make it a proper system. Since that will be mostly used in combat for aiming, I decided that the right mouse button is the best input for that. So now, when the player is holding the right mouse button and rotating the mouse, the character will look towards it. Otherwise, it will look in the same direction it was looking. Using similar methods that I used in my focus system and for my leg rotation system, I quickly rigged the character's arms and made him an apex predator stance. After a little bit of tweaking, tada! We actually have something resembling a fighting stance. I even implemented the punch animation just to make it look cooler. The last thing I implemented was a zoom system. Yeah, of course, not without problems, but thankfully they were quite easy to fix, so now I have camera zooming as well. I think it looks cool. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out my Discord channel where you can ask me different questions, suggest different things, participate in events, and much more. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye!